Good morning, everybody. I'm happy to be here reading the Proclamation, Recognition, Celebration of the Black History Month. Here with me is Council Mayor Jerry Stolfus. So this proclamation is on behalf of Mayor and Council. And after the proclamation, we will be having a prize raising ceremony by two of our great veterans, while we also listen to the song Lift Every Voice and Sing. Okay, so I will start the proclamation right now. City of Mount Rainier Proclamation in recognition and celebration of Black History Month. Whereas the African American community have made a meaningful and significant contributions to the City of Mount Rainier, State of Maryland, and the United States and the world. And whereas the month of February is nationally recognized as Black History Month, and whereas in 1915, Dr. Carl Goodwood Woodson, noted Black scholar and son of former slaves, founded the Association for Studies of the Negro Life and History, which was later renamed the Association for the Studies of African American Life and History. Whereas Dr. Woodson initiated Black History Week on February 12, 1926, and for many years, the second week of February, chosen so as to coincide with the birth of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, was celebrated by Black people in the United States. And whereas 1976, as part of the National Bicentennial, Black History Week was expanded and became established as Black History Month. It is now celebrated all over North America, Canada, and Great Britain. Whereas many Black people have made the City of Mount Rainier their home, in spite of the horrid attempts to exclude them, and have made significant contributions to the city and state. Whereas Black history is American history and should be taught to schools since elementary, along with ethnic studies. Whereas the African American community has served in the U.S. Armed Forces since the First War, even though back home they had no rights and segregation wanted to speak. We honor their sacrifices and we celebrate our veterans. Whereas today we celebrate and affirm the importance of Black health and wellness to our community throughout our state and nation. Whereas we celebrate the diversity of Black people in the City of Mount Rainier and to our nation and the Black diaspora, whether they self-identify as African, African American, Afro-Latino, Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Asian, or Black. And whereas we recognize this year as Black History Month theme of Black healthness and wellness. And whereas we acknowledge systematic racism has led the African American community being more likely to die at an early age from all causes, more commonly misdiagnosed and impacted by health inequalities through the healthcare system that have traumatized the Black community. And whereas we celebrate Black health and wellness, including the legacy of Black scholars, midwives, nurses, doctors, and practitioners of not only Western medicine, but all other indigenous ways of promoting health and healing through the Black diaspora. And whereas during Black History Month, we elevate the achievements and contribution made by African Americans to our economy, cultural, spiritual, and political. And whereas the observance of Black History Month calls our attention to the continued needs to battle racism, stand up and be an ally and build a society that lives up to its democratic ideals. And whereas the City of Mount Rainier is proud to honor the history and contribution of African Americans in our community throughout Maryland and our nation. Whereas the City of Mount Rainier will continue to work towards becoming an inclusive city in which all the community, past, present, and future, are respected, and that the African American community is recognized for their contributions to our city, country, and the world. And whereas the African American community have played a key role in the advancement of this city and the world in the multiple fields of studies, including and not limited to the arts, culture, science, math, politics, history, business, music, sports, medicine, economic development, education, agriculture, literature, dance, high technology, and human civil rights, including LGBTQI+ rights. There is not a field that the African American community has not positively impacted and has advanced. Whereas the City of Mount Rainier commits to doing everything in its power to demand that we all seek a greater understanding and implement changes to ensure that racism and the unjust treatment of any person is not tolerated in any way or form within the City of Mount Rainier. And whereas Black History Month is a time for all citizens of the City of Mount Rainier to remember the contributions and legacy of those who helped build our nation, our city, have fought against prejudice, to secure living of dignity and opportunity for all of its citizens, advancement to causes of civil rights for all Americans, and strengthening our families and communities. And now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Selena Benitez, Mayor of the City of Mount Rainier, do hereby proclaim February as Black History Month in the City of Mount Rainier. And every year, therefore, today, the City of Mount Rainier will hold a flag raising ceremony in the month of February, celebrating National Black History Month, and urge all of its citizens to celebrate African American community heritage, culture, and continue our efforts year-round to create a world that is more just, peaceful, equitable, prosperous for all, and stand up for injustice, voting rights, oppression, protection, and human civil rights. Today and every month is Black History Month. So thank you for everybody that's viewing, and also for the ones that are here. I know it's a very cold day, but we appreciate you being here. So we'll move forward to raising the Pan-African flag. Chief? Melissa Song? Go. Yes. All right, so we want to thank Chief Alston, also Inspector Ogg, for helping us with the flag ceremony. also our great staff that is also here supporting everybody that's watching. This year has been a little bit hard because of COVID, so that's why we decided to do a virtual celebration. We look forward to COVID being away from our lives or more sustainable next year, so that we could celebrate with the community as a whole. And I'll tell you this, sometimes people think it's not good to remember, honor various things, but this morning I was reading that for the second day, the HBCUs universities have they call a bomb threat once again. So to me, that continues the pattern of implementing fear on people that are supposed to be going to schools and getting education. So the city of Mount Rainier stands with the schools, it stands with the community, and to say, like, no threats should be made to any of them, and nobody should be going to school feeling fear that something could happen to them. So it is symbolic. It is African American Month, or National Black History Month. So it is important for us to continue to stand together and to know that as a city we take a stand anti-racism, anti-oppression. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we look forward to having a bigger party next year. Stay tuned to the various communications from the county, also for parking recreation, as well as the Smithsonian Museums. They are going to be having various events through the month, and through our communication links, we're going to be publicizing that information so that way you could join in any way possible. And to our residents, please consider shopping local this month as any month, especially like going to our African American businesses to support them. COVID has hit all of our businesses hard. So it's important that we stand together with them and we continue to utilize our economic power in the city of Mount Rainier, shopping here in our city. So have a beautiful day and rest of the week as well as month. So happy Black History Month on behalf of Mayor and Council and the city of Mount Rainier.